Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Shonen and Chill, hosted by Zenrotto and Oceaniz.
Hello, hello, folks.
And we got a kind of a easy week this week. Just kind of laid back. Not to say it wasn't
Yeah,
good. There's some fire in here this week, but it's just not catching up on 2 weeks of back chapters.
yeah. It's not like Choujin X released 17 chapters and we missed a break and we missed whatever. It's just the old magazine and two extra series, the way we like it,
As
The-
God intended.
as God intended. Uh, but yeah, I don't think there's any special news this week
None
either.
that I'm aware of. No.
I think it's very much just a chill week. I mean, Wiz dropped more anime merch, and surprise, surprise, it still sucks.
Is it all awful? Oh God, dude, that shit's so bad. I don't
Dude,
understand like the meta of shitty anime merch designs, and then it costs like $250.
I think the worst part is that not only is it shitty, not only is it expensive, but it also looks worse than every single unofficial piece of merch.
Yes.
Like, it's really bad. And
Which, like,
no, this.
steal the unofficial merch. They can't do anything about it. Just just copy their shit and sell it. Like,
Yeah,
what are they
and
gonna do? Sue you? It's your fucking IP.
um, I think the worst part is this new lineup includes JoJo merch,
Oh
and
no.
it's just the worst. It's literally just T-shirts with like key visuals from the anime slapped on.
The
It's so bad.
iron-ons. The old
Yeah.
iron-ons.
Uh, but yeah. Um, Aside from that, I don't think there's anything crazy going on anywhere. The Roboco anime happened and ended, and I don't think we talked about it at all
It's
because I
over?
wasn't even aware. I don't know if it's over, but it's been going on for a hot minute now.
I mean, I knew it. I knew. Okay, well, no, I didn't know it existed. I knew it was going to exist. I didn't think it had been released yet. I thought it was still being produced.
No, apparently the week I told you that, it's going to be released was the week the first episode aired.
Oh, well,
It happens. Um, but okay, in case we don't have any other news, what's your top three this week?
my top three this week. I think my number three is Ichinose family,
Uh huh.
which is a first.
Uh huh.
Um, my number two, I think, is Undead Unluck, and my number one
Hmm.
is Jujutsu Kaisen.
Okay, we almost have the same one. My number three is Ichinose. My number two is My Hero. My number one is Undead Unluck.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, well, it's respectable. Good
Right,
overlap.
so then that will start us off with Choujin X. I believe 2 chapters, because this series just comes out whenever it wants.
Was it two chapters? I don't
I don't
remember when I
remember.
read
I
the
don't
other one.
remember, to be honest. I know there's at least one.
Well, they're
17th.
fighting.
Um, did we do an episode? What was a week ago? Okay, no, it's just one. It's just one.
Yeah, it's just the one where where the fight concludes with the big
Yes.
handmaiden.
Yes, and everyone's super fucked up.
Yeah. Whoa, this was odd, but very
Yeah,
cool.
sure was.
Um, God, where to start? I like how we just get the casual reveal that the mask guy is Hoshi's brother. That he's the
His
brother of the
design
All Might looking.
is like
Huh?
really fucking creepy too,
Yeah.
in a good way. But like,
Yeah, awful, but great. Um, and it's kind of wild that we get like this huge clusterfuck fight where we just essentially see everyone throw attacks at the thing, and then we just skip past it, basically.
yeah, and then most of them are like dead.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
fair enough. Yeah, because Sandex lost an arm, I think.
yep.
Damn. Um, so now everyone's just in tatters, and our boys and girl are are ready to take up the mantle, I guess. Ready to become a little more active.
Yeah, it seems that way. Got that
Hmm.
little they're leaving the regular world at the end there.
Hmm.
Also, that final page is fucking really pretty. The
Yes.
chapter title page.
Mm-hmm. I got to know part 4.
Mm-hmm. I don't
Such a
know how
wave of
you
words.
draw sunbeams like that look that good, but Jesus, good job.
I mean, yeah, I can't tell if this is like
If it's a
an
photo or not.
yeah, it looks really convincing as both, you know, a good drawing but a drawing nonetheless. So, yeah, maybe he drew it. Um Also just like the double spreads at the end. Just sort of that moment of maturity where they all have to sort of leave the nest and finally face the world.
Mm-hmm.
Um but yeah, this is just one of those like big paradigm shift chapters, I guess. It almost feels like everything up until now has been set up in a weird way.
Yeah, it does sort of feel like that now we're getting into the story.
Because how
And
long has
also,
this series been
Smokeman
running?
has no smoke powers anymore.
Yeah, but he's still in the story. He could still do
Yep,
something funky.
he's still here, just being mad.
Yeah, because now we have, I guess this sort of establishes Smokeman and Hoshi's brother, Ew-Man, um,
Ooh,
as
man.
like the two main, yeah, Ew-Man, as the two sort of, or two potential opposing forces to the main cast. Because, yeah, because now the whole like Shoujin organization is kind of gone, or at least decimated and severely weakened. So I'm guessing we're gonna see, yeah, our main characters take charge a little more, which I'm ready for. And yeah, no, it's a pretty cool chapter. Pretty neat out of 10.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
Mhm.
Pretty cool out of 10. Choujin X always kind of delivers. It just delivers at odd hours in the middle of the night.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so the next up is Sasuke's story.
And we're still doing dinosaurs, and it's still good.
We're still
Still
doing
really
dinosaurs,
funny.
and we got the Menno face turn. He's on our team now.
Yes, yes, he's our friend,
He's our friend.
dinosaur tamer Sasuke.
This shit's so good.
I love that this author gets like the opportunity to work on Naruto, and the first thing he does is he just writes Sasuke in Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
What a trooper! What a king!
Goes so hard.
Um, yeah, and I'm really liking how they're pacing out this whole villain plot thing because we've met Zanzu like 3 times now, and we still don't know what he's doing. But every time he drops like a little bit of extra sauce, like this time where it's like, oh, he's not a fighter at all. Actually, he basically has no chakra. So what's going on? Who's actually behind this? I'm enjoying it. It feels very well paced out for what is essentially just a spin-off like light novel adaptation.
Mm-hmm.
Um and Yeah, no, very cool that we get to see more dinosaur action. I'm glad we get to see a Spinosaurus at the end. Every single person who's into dinosaurs probably started crying the moment they saw that page because I don't know if you know this, but Spinosaurus is one of those. Spinosaurus is the Mineta of paleontology in that every other week it causes some sort of controversy because no one can agree where the fuck that sail goes on the body. So it's just basically everyone just arguing over this stupid dinosaur. So I saw it and I was like, oh, it's the Controversisaurus.
The Controversisaurus.
Yeah. Dude, people cannot even agree if it lived on land or water. It's wild.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
I'm used to it just looking like that, just being like a T-Rex with a big fin.
Yeah, I mean, same. But I think the current consensus is that it was at least semi-aquatic, but someone in the comments can definitely correct me on that. I think the
All
last thing I
right,
heard was it
dinosaur
was
viewers, we need you.
dinosaur fans. It is your moment. Um, but yeah, I'm so glad we got another old Menno fight. And I like that Sasuke befriends him by basically just being nice to him. That's how you do it. Um, and of course, Genjutsu magic, but whatever.
Old Menno wagging
Secondary.
his tail. Look at that.
Hmm. And yeah, besides that, chapter was good. Dinosaurs were in it out of 10, honestly.
Yeah,
Not much to it.
not much to it, but damn, I'm a fan.
Yes, dinosaurs are cool out of 10.
All right, next we've got Fabricant 100.
I mean, it was alright. It
I
was
like the
okay.
little twist reveal that like, oh, she was a human the whole time. Because that
Yeah.
that opens up a lot for it to be like not just, oh, we've got, we gotta fight a new monster every week, but also now there's humans that are making like cutting deals with the monsters and stuff.
Hmm.
It's I like it.
Yeah, it was a cool little reveal. Um, I thought the way the reveal was structured was a little odd in that almost couldn't believe that they were already sort of backstage and already like fighting her. That felt a little abrupt. And so when I turned the page and the reveal happened, I was like, wait, wait. I was still acclimating to them having made it to her. Uh,
Right.
it's yeah, it was a little quick, but it was cool. Um, it's a fun little setup. Um, and yeah, as you said, I think it opens up the story quite a bit. For like more interesting scenarios. I guess it. I'm just still sort of thinking what we said last week. Where we could have just had this chapter a week before and we didn't need to have like that whole intro into the organization.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I do like how it sort of also questions the relationship between fabricants and humans. Obviously, the L looking girl from last week trying to get our guy to be like, oh, wait, a human and a fabricant. Oh no, that's like me. So I do kind of appreciate that. But yeah, very cool and interested to see where this goes and if this series can stick around basically.
Yeah. That's always kind of a concern, isn't it?
Yeah, have you heard anything like regarding the new series, how they're doing? Because I haven't.
Not a thing.
Yeah, I have not heard. I know well, new series, I know Akane-Banashi has sold 500,000 copies with 4 volumes out, which is really good as far as I've heard. But I think that's it. That's the newest thing I know I have numbers on
Yeah, I
basically.
mean, Akane is definitely safe, though, I would say.
Yeah, yeah, I mean,
Like, well into safety territory by now.
yeah, I feel like if you make it to like 25, unless something weird happens, you're probably fine. Or like 30, more like 30 is probably a better cutoff point. But then wasn't there that, what was it, Nine Dragons Parade? Or what was it that got cancelled like really
The
late?
That didn't get canceled too late. I think that was still in its teens.
Oh, who wasn't there a series that got cancelled like in the 90s or 80s?
Robot X Laser Beam got canceled in the 60s.
Oh, well, there you go. I guess that's what I was trying to think of.
That's all
But
I can think of off
yeah.
the top of my head. What about, wait, didn't the I Need You to Drink a Potion to Become a Woman so I Can Fuck You Spaceman manga get canceled really late?
Oh yeah, that is true. Wait, let me. What was it called? A Gravity Boys.
Yeah,
51 chapters. Not that late.
not that late. Okay. Then I don't know. Yeah, like Nine Dragons got canceled in the 20th chapter. I
Okay,
till
okay.
C
Then I.
21.
God, scrolling through the manga app, it really does feel a bit like a graveyard, doesn't
Doesn't
it?
it though? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
There's
yeah,
like.
here's Guardian of the Witch from June 2020.
Yeah, he's
Hitman.
Ayashimon,
Yeah.
Beast Children.
It is a little depressing, isn't it?
Yeah, Bone Collection,
Oh my God, I forgot
Build
Bone Collection
King,
existed.
Candy Flurry. Yeah, just a whole lot of. This
Just
is a
yeah,
massive graveyard.
it's a little depressing, but yeah, I feel like Akane's good. Fabricant 100, I do kind of agree that the pacing was a little weird, but I feel like having the extra wrinkle of like the curtain giving them like they can't fight while the audience is there made it a
Mm-hmm.
little bit better because they're not just gonna like be brawling the whole time. They've kind of got to navigate like the awkward situation. So
Mm-hmm.
I can give it a pass.
Yeah, no, that's fine. But yeah, that was pretty okay out of 10, I'd say.
All right, next up we got Akane-Banashi.
Which was very nice. I liked a lot of things in this chapter. Uh, I like the reveal of what her technique is. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, to make it funny instead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, because I think there's something cool in this manga where they're trying to sort of tell you or teach Akane in a sense that it's not about overcoming inherent like hurdles in your life, but more sort of adapting to them.
Mhm.
because she, she's a teenager. She's not going to be able to portray like a super experienced old brothel lady convincingly. So instead of learning how to do that, she just hams it up and makes it funny by juxtaposition. I think that's a very cool like solution to it that is simple in a way that feels satisfying. I think that's the best way to put Akane-Banashi's like big moments. They're simple but satisfying.
Mhm. Yeah, I don't have a
Um,
ton to say on it other than the reveal was good. I really like the panels afterward where everyone's like baffled at the
yeah.
decision. Um, and I kind of like when the guy from the newspaper is watching it. At first, he kind
Mhm.
of writes it off, like, "Oh, you know, I thought she
Mhm.
was gonna do this really good thing, but I guess not. Next time, next time it'll work out probably." And then
Mhm.
you kind of get the reveal slowly that the audience is totally buying into it. Like you get a
Mhm.
lot of those interspersed audience reaction panels where you see them starting to laugh more and more, um,
Mhm.
which is good because the beginning of it they almost are like immediately write her off. It's like, oh, she fucked it up.
Mhm.
That sucks.
Mhm.
Maybe next time. So it's cool to
Mhm.
watch as it slowly starts working and they all start realizing, oh my God, this was by design.
Mhm. Yeah, I also another moment I appreciated, which goes back into the thing I think we said a few times in the past, which is adults that feel like adults. So the glasses guy, when he walks in, he's like, "Oh, she told me what she's gonna do, and I was surprised she was so like, you know, okay with me. I was worried that, I reprimanded her, and for reasons that I think were reasonable, but I was still worried that I had upset her and that she would hold a grudge against me. And I thought, oh, that's a neat way of sort of making him more than just the guy that reprimanded her.
Hmm.
Just giving him that little bit of extra maturity where it's like, yeah, I mean, I had my reasons, but also I can understand if that would upset her and make her sort of a little apprehensive towards me. But yeah, I think this manga does a great job at that. Just balancing out the fact that these people are not evil. They just have their own like way of doing things, but they're also aware of how that affects others. And yeah, I just really like that. After after 20 years of reading shonen manga where the adults are just incompetent and or evil, I am very happy to see stuff like this like portrayed so well. So
Yeah, it
yeah,
really
very
is the
cool.
genre of like, don't trust adults, only trust 14-year-olds.
Well, yeah, I mean, it is for 14-year-olds. It makes
Yeah.
sense because that's the fantasy you want. You want the 14-year-olds to be the coolest ones, and that's how you get people like Kakashi who are super cool at the start, and then eventually just get phased into, oh no, the hapless adult who can't do anything. Quick, 17-year-old, help me, um, sir. The wall has been breached. Call the emergency teenager.
Please get the super children in here immediately.
I mean, that's basically the only defense plan that my hero universe has. So
That's true.
But yeah, Akane Banashi was good. Akane Banashi was really good. I liked it this week. Out of 10.
All right, next up we have got Sakamoto Days.
It was pretty cool. Again, sort of more of an exposition chapter,
Yeah,
but I liked
lots
it.
of lots of info dumping.
Hmm.
The database old man is the coolest thing ever. I love him.
He's a photocopier basically as a
Yeah, he
human.
just sketches out like a full ID page, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm
Hmm.
gonna recreate the newspaper." And then we'll see if the best part is he doesn't know if there's an article in the paper or not. He
Yes.
says I'm gonna just recreate the whole thing, and then we can see if there's an article in there.
Yes. Yeah, I thought that was really cool as well. It's very creative. And also again feels very sort of action B movie esque, right? Like, oh yes, we have the ancient master who just can who has infinite knowledge, except he's just a printer. That's really cool. I also like the little not twist, I guess, but like a little wrinkle we get on Uzuki or X that oh there might have been like a split personality.
Hmm.
Um and that those who knew him in the past they would never be able to imagine that he's like this now because he's so different. Gave me very gave me a lot of like Diavolo vibes from JoJo. JoJo
Oh
fans.
yeah, like the two personalities that are completely different.
Yeah, JoJo fan reads his second ever manga. You know how it is.
First, we had what's his name? Something Jam. What was that guy's name?
Club Jam.
Club Jam. Yeah. First we
Yeah.
had Club Jam, and now we got this. Might
I
as well
mean,
just be. That's those
I
two
mean,
things. All it needs.
everything is a JoJo reference if you're deranged enough.
I also really like the final panel where he's like, "So who's gonna kill the crazy old man?" And they're both just like looking at him, like not saying it.
Yeah.
The deer guy's even making like a little hands pose, like, it's really
Like
good.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I like it especially because it comes right after the big like team up spread of our guys, or like I guess the order.
The order.
Hmm. The boys. But yeah, aside from that, kind of a whatever chapter in sort of action sense, very much just people sort of figuring things out, which is fine. It's very cool.
Yeah, this is
Um,
was definitely some setup for what's coming in the future because we just got out of a few big fights, which is fine.
yeah,
Um,
exactly. Um, and yeah, everyone's just sort of pooling their strengths, getting ready for an even bigger confrontation. So yeah, I guess we're moving into like a new quote unquote saga, I guess.
yeah, new
Which
arc of some kind.
yeah, it kind of makes me hope that we get a couple of just Sakamoto shenanigans chapters first, because we did spend a long time in this like school infiltration arc.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah, like it feel probably about not if not a year, close to a year, I feel like. Yeah, because in August we were still there. Let's see. April they were doing the exam. Let's see. December. Yeah, December 2021. What they were up to there? Okay, that was not it yet. Yeah, so they must have started like early 2022. So we've been in this for pretty much a year.
Jeez.
Um yeah, which I mean is fine. I kind of want some more chapters of them just at the store now. I'm
Yeah,
ready for
just like
some
doing stuff.
yeah, I'm ready for them to cool down a little with it. But yeah, I guess we'll see next week. Very very cool for now out of 10.
All right. So next up is Blue Box.
You know, it was okay. It
It was fine.
was
The backstory was a little disappointing, which I guess it makes sense because it's from Chinatsu's point of view. So like we're not
mhm.
gonna get a lot of information on her other than the way that Chinatsu views her. But it really
Mhm.
felt like a lot of flashback for kind of nothing. Like I don't feel like I learned that much.
Yeah, I mean it was kind of just Yumika was sort of her guiding star and sort of the thing
Yumika
she
was her
admired.
inspiration, and she's not as big of a bitch as we think she is. That's like pretty much all we got out of this.
Yeah, exactly. I think what the chapter was probably more so about was like Chinatsu's reaction to remembering, you know, that really wistful look she has on page 18. Uh, but I don't know if it needed to be on page 18. You could have had that on page like 5 and then we
Yeah,
could have done something else. So you know, not the best chapter. A little fluffy, but I'm almost thinking that if we do continue down this storyline and we get like Yumika's perspective on it, I kind of feel like we might get this flashback, but from her point of view, and it'll be like completely different in terms of like what she gets out of those moments. I could imagine that.
yeah, that would be much improved. I'll tell you that because this just feels like I don't know. Fluff is a good word. It just feels like it's here just to be here, and then
Yeah,
like there's nothing to be learned from any of this really. It's all just kind of information we already knew.
yeah. I mean, special shout out though to the middle panel on page 17 when Shinatsu says, "I admired her," and the speech bubble like perfectly covers her face, so we don't see what she's thinking. It's not a rare trick, but I like it whenever I see it. It's very cool. Um, but yeah, was all right out of 10. Nothing crazy.
Yep, pretty good out of 10. Just fine out of
Hmm.
10. So the next up is Jiangshi X.
Is have we ever seen a manga get a chapter length extension on chapter 2
Yeah, I was about to say,
before.
holy shit, 45 pages on chapter 2.
Yeah, because I've been seeing some people say that this one releases simultaneously with Shonen Jump, but it's actually a Shonen
Yeah, it's Jump
a Jump
Plus.
Plus series.
Hmm.
Yeah. Although I've not seen anyone back that up. People just say it, but I haven't seen
When I
anyone
looked it
link
up
to it.
online, I mean, it didn't have like a source or anything, but it is referred to as a Jump Plus series, like when you look
Okay.
it up on the internet.
Okay. Well, that's good then. I guess we're just reviewing it then.
Yeah, I
Because we're
mean, might as well. We do it for
yeah,
Chainsaw Man, so until
yeah,
we
and I
decide to
mean,
drop it, we might as well.
yeah, I mean, so far it's pretty good, I'd say. I mean, this
Yeah,
chapter is
I
pretty
thought this was
neat.
a good chapter.
Yeah.
We get our gruff mentor who's cynical. Every
Hmm.
series needs one.
Yes, but he's drunk.
Yeah, that's it. That's his special tidbit.
He is drunk. I'm I'm betting right now that at some point, if this series gets to go on as long as it can, at some point he's going to pull up the drunken fist.
Almost certainly.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
like a mandatory thing.
Hmm.
Um, and that chapter was like, it was basic, but it had a lot of heart in it, where he's like, everyone's giving him shit for being too cold in the beginning, but then he one-shots this thing and gives the little girl the tag and says that like, oh, your mom and dad's spirits are in there and they're gonna keep you safe.
Hmm.
It was very cute. He gives her the hug
Yeah.
and everything.
Yeah.
I
This
like our guy.
yeah, he's cool, and I like you know, obviously this has a much higher page count than some of the other manga we've seen. But I do like that, it's chapter 2, and we're not doing any weird exams anymore. We're not doing any like well, we're doing some guild introductions, I guess, but we're not like introducing ourselves anymore. Now we're just, chapter 2, we're going on our first mission, and it's I like how they start by saying, "Oh, our first mission, it could be dangerous." Then they try to go like down on the expectation by, "Oh, no, it would be weird for us to go on a super dangerous mission. We'll have to do something boring, like in Naruto, where they have to go, collect cats for the
Hmm.
first 7 missions." And then actually it's something super dangerous. I thought that was a really neat
I
like
like how they even
back and
set it up
forth.
almost in a similar way, where it's like, yeah, he had to chase around this monkey, like exactly the way they did with the cat.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then it ended up being something that they wanted to do to begin with.
Yeah. Um Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna get a lot of shit for constantly comparing it to Naruto, but it does give me such enormous Naruto vibes. It's
Yeah, it has
insane.
very intense Naruto vibes.
Yeah, we even get like the introduction of sort of the super ninjas, the Kages basically.
Yeah, pretty
Um
much the Anbu or whatever, the elite
the
of
the
various
Bagua,
things.
um
I didn't know
of which I
marsh was an element in uh Chinese like myth, but apparently it is.
Marsh, I mean I could imagine it. Yeah, because it can't be something like mud. It would have to be like marsh. Yeah, that's weird. But of these like Bagua, I'm gonna say I think all of their designs are really cool.
Yeah,
Like
I don't think there's any that I think are weird. Like even the weird ones are kind of like they fit. Like the
yeah,
sky person. I'm like, okay, it's kind of like gives me like old master vibes.
it reminds me of Yu Yu Hakusho's lineup of characters.
It
Honestly.
does. It does. The very like the sky one's got a very Genkai vibe to it. These look like
Hmm.
people that would have shown up in like the Genkai tournament to try
Yes.
and become her successor.
Yes. Um. And yeah, I was just when I was looking at this double spread, I was kind of surprised. I was looking at these character designs. I was like, wow, there isn't a single one that I would say is like the ugly one. Because there's always one in these lineups, right? There's always one
Hmm.
character design where you're like, okay, I'm supposed to laugh at this guy. Um, but here they all look pretty cool. I like them.
Yeah, I don't think anyone looks like lame.
Hmm. Um, and yeah, sort of the actual fight. I mean, it's not really a fight, but the action scene is actually also good, an improvement from chapter 1, I'd say.
Yes.
Like
Yeah, like you said, it's not really a fight. It's mostly just him stomping it out. But like I kind of like that because it's like his, motivation and everything. And
hmm
there's I almost like the way that he looks afraid on like the three-quarters spread on page 30 to 31 before he
hmm
snaps into like fight mode.
hmm
I don't know, I like that because it makes him look like he's a little bit like not in his element, and they're gonna have to save him, and then all of a sudden he snaps, and like the look on his face on page 30 versus the cut of his eyes on page 32, it's good. I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Very,
And
very
then
cool.
I also like that it's the mindless monster that gets the scared face right
Uh-huh.
before he gets one shot.
Yes. Um, yeah, just really digging this so far. Um, because I also like that, it's his first outing and it's not like a super drawn out fight where he like explains all of his motivations to us. We get the little build up towards the moment when we get his like little backstory, but also really condensed.
Hmm.
Um, like in another series, I could imagine this would have been like 2 chapters by themselves. We get like a condensed backstory, and then we're just in the moment, and he's showing us why we should root for him. Just very good setup. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Which I should stop saying because, God, it's gonna get this shit canceled, isn't it?
Yeah, probably. They're watching it right now. Like, which one? Which one do they
uh,
like the most? Let's kill it right
boy, I
now.
love Roboco. No, I mean let's be real. It's never fun when someone gets canceled.
No. Even
Even
if you don't
Roboco.
like it, it's never fun.
Yes. Um, I still dislike Roboco, but that's a separate issue.
Nobody said you
Um,
had to like it. You don't have to like it.
yeah. Um, but also I don't think this is in as much danger of getting cancelled if it really is a Jump Plus series. Because I mean,
Yeah, Jump Plus seems like it can do what it wants for a while.
exactly. Um, so yeah, Jiangshi X, very excited for its future. So far, the only thing that's sort of giving me a little trouble is whenever something has like a really long string of Chinese names.
Yes, which
When
that's
it's like,
just, my foreigner inability to read. But
yeah,
I'm reading it and I'm like, God, man, like,
yeah,
cut me a
which
break.
you know what? Um, you know what? I'm gonna say something blasphemous. All right,
All right.
stuff like this makes me makes me miss like old English translations because if this was translated in like the mid 2000s, something like Shenfo de Shinje, the realm of the gods, would have just been translated as the god realm,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like that would have been a bit of a stronger a bit of a stronger translation, even if it's not quite as accurate. I mean, this one literally leaves in the original word, and it's something I've been thinking for a while now. That in the push to make translations more accurate, which is a good thing, I feel like we've gone almost too far on the other side, where everyone's like hyper focused on accuracy and not focused enough on whether or not it rolls off the tongue well
Yeah,
and
whether or
sounds
not it's
good.
like functional.
Yeah, because I feel like in this one, it's also kind of okay because it's a Chinese inspired manga, so a lot of the terms here are by themselves sort of seeing representation for the first time in the English language, or at least sort of within the space of shonen manga. So I don't mind it too much, but I do wish that certain things, like the God realm, that would have just been translated a bit more concisely. Because I don't really gain much from knowing that it's called the Shenfo de Shinjie um, thing.
Right.
And there's a few um, like that, which I mean, it's chapter 2, so maybe in the future they will just abbreviate things. Which at that point, if that happens, I'm totally fine with it. If this is just sort of the first time where they're trying to be educational about it, that's totally cool.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but uh, speaking of 2000s translations, early Naruto translations, where they were like, name of the jutsu in Japanese, name of the jutsu in English, and you just have a full page of text because of that.
Yeah.
Um,
Or like that
like,
little period of time where Jujutsu Kaisen was like using the Juryoku and stuff.
yeah. Um, yeah, I just feel like the whole thing of like how aggressive people online are about translation accuracy has kind of led to a counter shift where it's just sort of like translators are almost afraid to reinvent or formulate things because they're worried that it'll get the series a bad rap, which is a shame. I hope that this series, as many others, can also find sort of a nice in between level of vocabulary that is accurate but not alienating. Is I guess
Mm-hmm.
the thing I'm trying to say. So yeah, cool out of 10.
Cool out of 10. So
Yes.
next up, we've got Mashle.
I mean, it's good that the fight's over.
Yes. I think it's funny that he beat him by shoving all the clones through the floor.
Yes, that was funny. um,
I also like that his
and,
dream is to make cream puffs.
well, makes sense, doesn't it?
It does make sense, but I think it's funny that they're like, "Oh, what's your ultimate fantasy?" And he's like, "I just want to make cream puffs.
Hmm.
I want to make pastries."
And then he makes fun of Doom for wanting to do the same.
Yeah, he's like, "What if I make pancakes?" And he's like, "All right, yeah, whatever."
Yeah. Um, but aside from that, this chapter just made me realize how tired I am of this fight. So I'm really glad that it's
Yeah,
over.
the biggest feeling from this chapter is relief that the fight has ended.
Hmm. Um, but yeah, cool, pretty neat. I guess we can now move on to killing the main guy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's all that's left, pretty much, isn't it?
Yeah, unless in the meantime he's been making more children.
Oh God,
He's just been at it.
just the entire time, like, oh no, the
Like
mash is
quick.
coming. I need more.
But yeah, nothing much to say on this one, really. Just glad this fight is over. Ready for something new out of 10.
Yep, ready to for anything else out of 10.
Yeah.
All right, so the next up would be the Ichinose family's deadly sins.
What the fuck?
I have no fucking idea what just happened.
What the fuck? Uh, so I thought we were going to get like an arc on the dad.
That's what I thought too. That was my assumption, was that it was the dad's turn to
Yeah,
get his info.
and then the final few, and then basically the whole thing happens where he like suddenly wakes up, having like slept through the car ride. I'm like, uh oh.
Yeah, as soon as he was like, I thought it was only gonna take a little bit. I was like, oh no, oh
Yeah.
no.
But then the ending of this chapter is like, what?
Yeah, did he like? What the fuck?
Yeah, because also the dad, that's not the same guy.
No, it is definitely not the same guy.
But everyone else is the same guy, right?
Yes,
Yeah, so like, what? What's happening?
I don't
Is this like,
know.
is he like stuck in a? No, it can't be that he's stuck in a loop. Um, are they like part of some big conspiracy? And the dad figured it out and killed himself, and so they replaced the dad and wiped all the memories? Is that how this works?
I don't know, but why would the dad kill himself in the same way that caused all the amnesia to begin with?
I wait, I need to go back to chapter 1 and see how exactly this shit starts. I need to see what exactly. Okay, yeah, we don't actually get to see anything um about how that thing starts. Yeah, wait, but in the chapter 1 spread, there's the dad right next to him when he wakes up. And in this spread, the dad is gone. He's just straight up missing from the recreated spread until the new guy walks in. What the fuck is
What the?
going
Yeah, what
on?
the fuck is happening? This is insane.
Yeah, it honestly gets this high in my list because the reaction I had to this entire sequence was was like spine chilling. It's like, what? What did it? Yeah, they have to be stuck in some sort of like either government experiment or like loop, like time loop.
Yeah, some sort
Um,
of like, oh my God, dude, what the fuck is going on?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm the same way. It ranked this high because I'm just sitting here like having this fucking crazy reaction to whatever the fuck's going on. I don't know what's happening.
yeah, but yeah, I'm pretty sure the dad at the very least is dead. He must be after that because he takes that car crash head on. Um, so now comes the question: if this is a loop or if this is like something that keeps repeating itself, how many times have they been in this exact predicament?
Well, and then you
Like,
notice at the end that it seems like at least he's kind of remembering it
mm-hmm,
because he has like the flash of the old dad.
mm-hmm.
So man, I don't fucking know. What the fuck?
Yeah, because also what the dad says before he crashes, where he's like, "Oh, why didn't you like try to find out more about yourself? What was stopping you?" And then he doesn't explain further. It's like, why? Um, fuck, man. Like, what's
Yeah, it's like it's a fucking ominous vibe. The vibes are so horrendous at all times.
they're awful. Good lord.
The vibes are so bad.
Which we say every week about this manga.
I know, but God, it's true.
The Ichinose family's bad vibes.
The Ichinose family's horrendous vibe.
Deadly vibes. I mean, yeah, because like, where do we go from here? Is he now gonna like? Because the thing I'm thinking is that how's the what's like how's the school gonna react to this? Because if this isn't the first time this has happened, then they must be mind wiping the school as well. And if they don't, then it must mean that this is only the second like reset.
Hmm.
Um, so I'm so curious to find out like how this affects the rest of their lives. Um, because and how does this link to the rooms? I don't know. I'm this is beyond me. This is insane. I need the new chapter like right now,
Yeah, I need like, oh my God, dude, I need so much information
immediately.
right this instant.
Jonathan Jump, please text me.
Yeah, just give me the plot summary of the
Yeah,
whole thing.
just DM me, please, Jonathan. I know I said some things when you canceled Phantom Seer, but I was in a very emotional state. But yeah, bad vibes out of 10 in the best way.
Just horrendous vibes out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Okay, so next up is Undead Unluck.
Bro, she fucking Dempsey rolled him.
Yeah, it was cool. It was fucking cool.
So good. Uh the the page where they knock each other out is maybe my favorite page in Undead Unluck now. So good.
11?
Uh,
Yeah, super good.
yeah, such a good drawing as well. And it made me fucking like Void Volks.
Yeah, of all
I think he's
characters.
yeah, I think he's awesome. Um, like the whole sequence where he's like, um, it doesn't matter this whole what you mean with this whole negation thing. I just want a world to exist where I'm allowed to be. It's like, shit's good. Um, and we get a little bit about his backstory as well, like him being a slum kid, which I feel like all these characters have, like half of them have been slum kids,
Yeah.
basically. Um, I also like how it's called the Dempsey bad roll, like a
Yeah.
bad roll of the dice. Um, but yeah, man, so good. So glad that we had this little mini arc. Because now Fuko has thoroughly established herself as also like a proper shonen fighter, not just a strong leader, but also someone who can throw down. Um, I do like the panel on page 18 where she's just resting and she has like the One Piece blown up face,
Yeah.
like just
It's like they're got all the ice bags all over her and stuff.
yeah. But yeah, very cool. Very excited to see what happens next. Um, I also like Void just instantly attacking the book. He's like, "Oh, that's an enemy, right?"
Yeah, because it's just a creepy looking book. Yeah, he's like, oh, is that not an enemy?
Like, look, the panel where he punches it, he just looks so nonplussed. He's like,
Yeah,
"Okay."
he just got the flat face while he punches the book.
uh, he's so cool, man.
And then I
He was
like
just
when they're like, I get why you think that.
Like he was just like a basically a nameless henchman, and now he's so cool. I love him. Um, but yeah, very cool out of 10. Not
Yeah,
a
and
whole
I
lot to
like
say.
that they're spending a lot of time on these like introductory chapters for people because yeah, like you said, like Void was nothing, and now
Mm-hmm.
he's really cool. So
Mm-hmm.
Undead Unluck is kind of firing on all cylinders right now. Like it's just going
Yes.
crazy.
Yes, it might be the best series in Jump right now. I'm not gonna hold you.
Yeah, I could
Um,
co-sign that. I think if I sat down and really
yeah,
thought about it, I think I could co-sign that.
yeah. Um, but yeah, very, very cool.
All right. So next up is My Hero Academia.
Hey, the boy is back.
He is. This would have ranked probably higher on my list if something had happened. Um,
I
this was kind of
guess.
like Blue Box, where it feels like it was 17 pages of a whole lot of information that that could have been condensed more so than it was.
Hmm.
Um, I do like the shot of Nagant on the roof, like bleeding from her various explosion wounds.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, that was very cool.
it's a cool shot. Uh, I like the visual of all the gross fingers coming out of All for One's mouth
Hmm.
because it's Shigaraki like, I'm gross hand man. I'm here now
Hmm.
to be gross hand man. Um,
I yeah, I feel like this chapter. Yeah, maybe not much happened, but I did like that it took some time to like really make a whole fanfare of Shigaraki coming back because it is something that I feel like everyone has wanted for a hot minute. Um, so I do like that it's a real big moment. Uh, the way it happens is kind of funny if you think about it, because for like the last 2 years, ever since Shigi has been gone, every single theory I've seen on how he will come back has always been like, oh yeah, so this thing will trigger him, or this thing will cause him to get out. And instead, what happens is just that Horikoshi decides that All for One needs to go, basically.
yeah,
Because there's nothing that really triggers
there's
him.
no kickoff. It's just Shigaraki being like, I'm also here now.
Yeah, like, I mean, better better than it not happening. Don't get me wrong. I do think it is cool in a way that the way it happens is linked to the fact that he sort of remembers his origin. He keeps like his core close to himself and doesn't let it get corrupted, which is something like that's sort of the iconography and the language that we've seen also from All Might and Nana Shimura and Deku. So it is cool to build that parallel again. Um, I still think it's way too late for this to really turn the story around. Um, but if this is now the final fight and Shiggy is back and they're fighting in this like thunderstorm in a crumbling city with UA falling from the sky in the background, hey, I think it might go out on a high note.
hmm Yeah, I
Um,
could definitely see that being. This definitely has more vibes of like the final battle is beginning than it did when Deku arrived the first time. This
yes,
has the proper vibes.
yes. Also, what was Horikoshi eating in 2022? Because I hope he never touches it again.
Right? Yeah, how do you
Yeah,
have like a horrendous 2022 and then every chapter in 2023 is like pretty fucking good?
yeah, yeah. I mean, my guy is back, and that's pretty neat. Um, Also, when they're falling, is someone filming them with like their
Yeah.
iPhone?
hmm
Who is that? Did I miss something?
I don't know if it's just meant to be like it's one of the students from the fucking, remember they have like a film
Oh,
division there that's filming it on
right,
purpose. Because you can see
right.
him in the panel above it, like in the right, like the rubble.
Oh, okay. So that's who that was. Okay.
Yeah, it's some guy. It's one of the we gotta film it for posterity people
Mm-hmm.
filming. I also like how they brought Gentle in to hold this thing up, and then they just jump out, and even Gentle's like, "What? What are you doing that for? I'm here."
I I do like how he calls Deku boy. Um, but it's interesting that they bring attention back to the the management or whatever course filming because I wonder if that's going to play a role in like pushing back globally against All for One's influence. That'd be pretty neat.
I feel like it's probably gonna parallel. I mean, the very first thing we ever saw of All Might was a recording of him
Yeah,
dragging
right,
people out of
right.
the rubble.
Yes,
Um,
that is true.
I feel like that's going to be Deku's sort of inspirational video is that, they've got this ultra villain that's basically told the world, I'm going to do whatever I want and you're not going to do shit about it. And then there's going
Hmm.
to be a video on YouTube of this kid kicking the shit out of him.
um, Also, on the art front, some really great imagery this chapter.
Yes.
Everything from page everything from page 12 until the end is so good in terms of art. Like the shot of Shiggy being back, but he still looks fucking gross and deranged. And then the two double spreads, especially the last one, holy shit. Um
The only
Also I
thing about
like
the last one is I feel like Deku looks weird in it for some reason.
he has Horikoshi's dog anatomy that he does sometimes. If you look the way he basically has a snout and then like his hair is almost like a hardened mane behind
Yeah,
him.
he definitely has a snout and like his neck is really forward and like kind of long and I don't know. But everything else
Yeah, he
looks really
does that
cool in that final
sometimes.
one. Like the Shigaraki with like the fully black head and just the white eyes.
Mhm.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's got like
Also
horror movie
this
monster face.
the dog snout thing actually Hori has a tendency of changing that in the volume release. So it might get changed because I remember there was a very prominent one during the first war arc when he comes in to save Aizawa from Shigaraki. And that one got basically entirely redrawn in the volume.
Okay.
So
I would
you
like
know,
to see that because I don't like he looks like the girl that everyone likes, the monster girl. He does not look particularly human in that shot.
whenever Hori does this, all I can think of is that they look like the mascots for some like 2000s platformer game.
Yeah, I could see
Like,
that.
yeah,
For the
um,
like weird quasi-human characters.
yeah. But yeah, I think if this is the because if this really is the end, and I've seen a lot of people been like, "Oh no, clearly there'll be My Hero Shippuden," and hey, if you think so, I will not disagree with people on My Hero anymore. I will simply say, "Good for you."
Good
Um,
luck. Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah, I wash my hands of this community. But if this is the final set of fights, and what we have left is uh, Toga and sort of revived twice, I guess, versus Hawks and Uraraka. Uh, Toya versus the Todorokis, and Deku versus Shigaraki in front of a falling UA meteor and a thunderstorm. That might be a pretty good way to like wrap up the series on a high.
Yeah,
That sounds
close
like a
it on a hype
pretty
note.
pretty hype finale. Um, my only thing is, and the only thing I'm a little worried about here with this fight is UA is going to crash into the ground and it's going to level the entire city or like the entire area where they're in, and they're just going to be fighting in a flat wasteland again.
Yeah, I could see that happening. I hope it doesn't because he's been using the environment pretty well. And a lot like the Negan fight was great for that. Um,
Hmm.
so I'm hopeful that doesn't happen, but I could definitely see either that happening or just he's like, "Oh no, I let go of his wrist for a minute," and we get like a decay that wipes all of the surrounding area and it's just flat, nothing
Hmm.
for them to punch each other in. I hope that doesn't happen, but I could see it happening.
Yeah, I kind of hope this is again maybe blasphemous, but I kind of hope that him like Shigaraki wrestling with one all for one has sort of destabilized him a little, just to the point that he cannot use decay at its full potential. Because I feel like the fact that he has decay makes any interesting environmental combat kind of impossible. Because he can just decay the environment.
Hmm.
Um, Whereas I would love for them to like there's a crumbling building close to where they land. I would love for them to fight in that building to sort of also parallel the combat training Deku does against Bakugo really early on in the story when they're infiltrating that training facility or that training building um and have their first fight. I feel like something like that could be really cool, but it can only work if Shigaraki can't use the K fully. Um so I guess we'll see. I like them falling head to head when UA is falling. That's
Yes.
a really cool shot and a really cool trope. Um, Also on page 14? Those are straight up Shigaraki's finger bones, and that's disgusting.
Ew.
Yeah. Good lord, Hori. Out of 10.
Yeah. Good lord, out of 10.
Mm.
Um, I guess he still has regeneration. I thought he didn't anymore. I thought that was the whole thing, but I guess he does still.
Oh, and also shout out to the color page. Very cool. My goats. I'm
So
glad that
here's the question. When is Bakugo coming back, and what does he do?
he will pass away off screen, sadly.
Funeral already being held by the time the fight is over.
While they're fighting, they accidentally crash Bakugo's improv funeral. Um, realistically, he's gonna. Okay, so here's what's gonna happen. Because I think even Hori realizes that this edge shot thing is a little silly. Um, I think what's gonna happen is that edge shot is gonna revitalize him just enough for like one or two attacks. Bakugo is gonna fly into the final fight. He's gonna distract Shigaraki just long enough so that Deku can get like some really crucial punch in, and then Bakugo is gonna like be dragged off by someone to then be taken to the Mario hospital. That's my bet. I do not think he will do have a full fight anymore.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
there's no way you can have him do like a full fight.
mhm. Also, something interesting on page 11. This is sort of just side knowledge. When Kurogiri slash Shirakumo is trying to speak, and he's trying to say friend, she. In the Japanese, he doesn't really say she. He doesn't start with the she syllable. He just makes a sh sound, which could mean that he's talking about Shigaraki or Shota Aizawa. Whereas the official translation just goes with she to imply that he's saying Shigaraki. So,
Hmm.
slight difference here.
It's interesting.
Um, yeah. Um, I mean, I don't speak Japanese. I heard this from someone on Twitter. So who knows? Maybe I'm spreading lies.
Well,
Apparently, I'm a prolific hater of My Hero, so I wouldn't know.
yeah, you are the most prolific My Hero hater of our current generation. So,
I can't believe I'm such a big hater. I made 64 My Hero videos over the last 5 years, of which a whole 4 are negative. That's wild. Ugh,
the pinnacle hater,
the
but
deep pinnacle of hating.
the pinnacle hater.
Well, you could argue 7 are negative, but only 4 are like the premise is negativity. But yeah,
That's fair.
yeah. I mean, on Twitter is a different story, but why are you on Twitter? I wish I wasn't.
Yeah, yeah. I love when people like God, there was one dude who was like getting in my face. He's like, "Oh, you don't even like talk about My Hero, so why are you coming out of nowhere to talk about it now?" And I'm like, "Okay, clearly you don't know anything about me because I do that all the time." And he's like, "Oh, so you talk about it all the time, and you're just a hater? You sound like a fan to me." And I'm like, "Yes." I when people ask me if I like it, I say yes. This is not a gotcha, dude. What are you talking about?
Well, that's the thing with Twitter. People see you do one thing or they hear your name once and then they imagine a version of you. And that's the version they argue against. Like with me this week, I've seen a lot of takes about how, I've been hating on the series nonstop. I've been grifting on it. And it's like, I haven't made a My Hero video in God, like 5 months? I tweet about it
Grifting.
like once.
What?
Yeah.
Calm down. What? You
Yeah.
take it easy, y'all. How do you fucking grift manga?
Also, one of my favorite things is like, oh, you tweet like bait. It's like, first of all, I just tweet what I think. If you consider that bait, then I guess okay, fine, whatever. But also, Twitter doesn't make me money. Like, if I wanted to bait people into giving me traction, and like make me money, then just saying inflammatory shit is the dumbest way to do it because I don't have any links to my channel like in my tweets. People need to click on my profile and then on my channel and then on a video before I start making money. That's like conversion rate per link is what was it? Like 3% of people will click on a link if they see it.
Hmm.
So that's 3% of 3% of 3% that I'm banking on apparently with my grift. Like, good
Like
lord, I'll open an
you
OnlyFans
can
before I
I
do that.
understand that like you can totally be like a grifter just with stupid media stuff. Like totally. Like all the people who made the 740,000 new detail in the Vic Mignogna case. Like
Oh
yes,
yeah.
yes, totally. But how do you grift people by just being like, I don't particularly enjoy this, actually? What's the
Well, again,
grift?
exactly. For me, it's just sort of people have this idea that apparently if you're a content creator on YouTube, being like having people scream at you on Twitter somehow makes you money, which it doesn't. Shit, if that made me money, I would have made so much money this week. Holy
Yeah.
shit. But no, I don't. Um, so unless I have like a link under my tweet, me getting yelled at on Twitter doesn't do anything for me besides make Twitter annoying to use.
Hmm. You need to start getting the old get your fancy vibrator here links to put underneath your tweets.
I'm so mad that I've never gotten an offer like that, you know? I feel like my account has the right energy for it. I feel like my I feel like my viewers would really enjoy a fancy vibrator.
Oh my God.
uh, triple digits, baby. This is what SNC is now. Also, wait, I saw another really fun like response where it was like, "Oh, you know, you should just stop talking shit about it on your podcast." And I'm like, first of all, my podcast? I'm like 50% of SNC, not more, not less. And also, can you imagine being so fragile that you see a podcast that you don't have to watch that covers, what is it, like 25 series and talks about them at varying like levels of enthusiasm every week, and you specifically want yours removed for it because you cannot handle that the sections are sometimes negative when you can just skip them. Like um I saw a couple of people who were like, oh, I used to really enjoy the MHA sections and now they're mostly negative and I don't vibe with that. Like, that's totally fine. That's okay. I understand that. I also understand people who like mute me or unfollow me because I was very negative on the series for a long time, and that's okay. You don't need to expose yourself to more negativity than you can handle, and there's nothing wrong with that. But being like remove it from the show because you're too negative on it, that's just intense fragility. I'm sorry. Like,
Yeah,
just
well, I
skip
mean,
the
intense
segment.
fragility is like the trademark of of all of these people.
I mean, yeah. I also thought it was really cool to see a lot of people being like, "Hey, folks, this is not cool." I did appreciate that. I saw, I saw, I saw that My Hero like main leaker come to
Oh
my
yeah,
defense, which was
the fucking I don't remember his
Rukasu.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah, the guy with the movie character as his avatar.
yeah. Which I
Yeah.
thought, hey, that's really sweet, especially knowing that I've not been nice to you, or at least not been nice to like,
Your profession.
yeah, and I'm not gonna be. I still think leaking is a whole can of worms. But as far as that's concerned, I know they apparently watch our show sometimes. So as far as that's concerned, I do appreciate the kind words from anyone who was nice. Because yeah, I mean, I tried to play it off, but that was kind of disheartening to be, to tweet out something so benign
Yeah,
and
that's the thing
everyone's
that got me is like it wasn't even an inflammatory tweet. It was just like this really sucks because I really liked this thing and now I don't and that makes me sad. And then it
yeah,
was like out of the woodwork you had all these fuckers like I can't believe
yeah,
you. The fuck's wrong with you? Nobody wants to see that shit. And it's like then click the unfollow button.
yeah.
Stop still
I
following.
loved the people. I love the like 30 quote retweets saying we don't care. It's like, if you didn't care, why didn't you just leave me in peace? Like, what? Oh, but yeah, it's sort of. I've decided I'm just washing my hands of this stupid fandom. Um, I don't make My Hero content anymore. Good riddance. And clearly it wasn't working for anyone involved. So all's well that ends well, I guess. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry for anyone who actually was interested in things I had to say on My Hero. I probably won't be talking about it outside of this show anymore. Um, Now for the few people of you who are really into Monster Hunter, oh boy.
Monster Hunter's good. More people should play that. I
Yeah,
should play
absolutely.
that now that I have a computer that can play games.
Oh shit, you got a new computer?
It's just a laptop, but it's a gaming laptop. So
Oh shit,
yeah,
nice.
yeah, I got one for
Damn.
Final Fantasy 14, and then the realization dawned on me that I could also play other video games on it as well.
Oh shit. The whole meme where it's like you try to tell someone who plays FF14, like, hey, you want to hop on like Monster Hunter, and they're like, no, sorry, I already play a video game.
You have no idea how true that is, by the way. Neil was like, "Oh, hey, you should get on WoW now that you have a computer." And I was like, I'm already taken. Like, I can't."
But yeah, I mean, if you can run it, you should hop on Rise. You should get some of that dog riding
Yeah, I
Spider-Man
do
web
like
shooting
Monster
action.
Hunter. I played the shit out of Monster Hunter World, but I play it when I have people to play it with, and then those people fall off, and then I'm like, well, I'm not playing it
Yeah, fair
alone.
enough.
So I stopped playing it.
Fair enough. It is a lot more fun, multiplayer.
Yeah.
That's for sure. All right. Do we have anything else on My Hero, or is it time for the last one?
I
I
think it's
think,
time to
right?
go ahead and bring in even though most of this was not my hero at this point, but I think it's time to go ahead
That's
and
fine.
bring in the finale, which is Jujutsu Kaisen.
It was cool. A lot of
The twist at the end,
like.
man, I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up.
I was surprised with how casual his like reunion with Tsumiki was, because that's the first time they've seen each other since the calling game started, right? I didn't miss anything.
You're right. Yeah, it's the first time they've really interacted at all since we started this arc.
Yeah, so I was taken aback a little by how like casually he's like, "Oh yeah, get Tsumiki in here real quick." I'm like, "All right." I didn't realize that we had already sort of tracked her down and or had her on
Well, I think we
beck
kind
and
of
call.
always knew where she was because she was always in the hospital where Megami had left her.
Yeah, I guess. I for some reason I was under the impression that she was like missing or something. I don't know.
No, I think
Um.
the issue was that if they don't get her by the time limit, she'll get the curse technique removal and she'll die.
Oh, right, right.
So they need to get everything done within the time limit that the rules have set. That was always the struggle, not locating her. It was
Hmm.
fixing the problem.
Okay. Um. And so yeah, the whole back and forth about like which rules to enact, I thought was a little heavy. I'm gonna be real. I struggled a little with that, but yeah, the twist at the end was really cool.
Yeah, that was like he was like, all right, we gave you the points, and then she immediately made it different. Like, so she's got to be a reincarnated sorcerer, right?
I guess, or some
I
because
mean, I don't think it's someone like pretending to be her. Because isn't that how the reincarnated sorcerers work? Is they just get plugged into the body of someone from the current era?
mm,
So I'm fucked up. I'm fucked up, man. I was not ready
yeah,
for evil Megami's sister.
yeah, especially because if it is a reincarnated sorcerer, that means she's gone. Because I thought we heard from one of the reincarnated guys that when they reincarnate, they essentially erase the person
Yeah,
that
it's
was
like
in
what
there.
happened in Shibuya when Toji took over that random guy who like
Yeah.
incarnated his soul. It just deletes you.
Yeah, but what's interesting is that with Toji's case and with Kashimo, they overtook the body and then took on their appearance, whereas this lady still looks like Tsumiki.
Which is because I mean every incarnated sorcerer seems to have taken on their appearance other than this one. So I'm
Yeah,
if that means that it's not like complete yet.
maybe. Or
Like
if it's something
Tsukimi's
else
still
entirely.
in there somewhere.
Y-
Or they just look alike. One of the two, I guess, is possible. Um,
um,
but also
yeah,
she seemed to like know who Megami was.
yes.
So she would have some of uh, Sumiki's memories, I guess.
Hmm.
So I'm choosing to believe that she is in there somewhere and savable.
Well, here's the other option. So she was like in a coma for a long time, right?
Hmm.
And we know that Kenjaku planted something on her because when he activated the calling games with Mahito's technique,
Mm-hmm.
we saw like a seal appear on her.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think we know yet what exactly that was, right?
Not specifically. I was always just under the assumption that it allowed her to be a vessel for one of the reincarnated sorcerers, but we don't technically know as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, yeah. So like, what if he planted like I don't know a piece of himself in her that was like corrupting her while she slumbered in preparation for this exact like scenario?
It's hard to tell
Because
with Kenjaku because I feel like at any point he could just be like, "And my plan was this," and you're like, "Well, fuck."
yes, I mean, he's basically like all for one in that sense. Um, except with all for one, I'm like, oh god, please stop. Whereas with Kenjaku, I'm like, haha, you fucked Yuji's mom for your plan. You fucked Yuji's dad for your plan. So I don't know. I could see it because you're right. She does know Megumi, and she does seem to know enough about this entire situation to convincingly pretend to be Tsumiki, at least for a little bit.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I don't know if it's like a reincarnated sorcerer or if it's like just corruption or something like that. Um, or if it goes even back further, you know, Kenjaku manipulated Yuji's family. Who's to say he didn't manipulate the Fushiguro family?
It's true. I
So
don't know, man.
yeah, no,
Shit's fucked. I'm nervous. I
shit,
don't like it.
shit is fucked. Shit is extremely fucked. Um, but yeah, other than that, I don't have anything else to say on it. Very very texty chapter.
It was. There was a lot of words, a lot of talking. I like that Maki's back with the group.
Mm-hmm.
We got a little we got a little Gojo drip feed, and we're getting little
Yes.
Gojo hints every now and again now.
Mm-hmm.
I guess he's like, damn, that Twitter account still going. I better at least put him in there somehow.
Oh, Gege has absolutely seen that Twitter account.
Uh-huh.
No way he hasn't at this point.
I like how when they do the like reaction shot of all the players learning the new rule, they put Kamo in there, and it's just like a little bit of his forehead. Everyone else gets like their upper body, he's like a little bit of his forehead.
Yeah,
Um,
well,
yeah.
such is the life of a very divorced looking man.
And I also like the bit when Yuji is like, "Oh, Kurusu was flying up there, so if you fell through the sky, she could catch you." And she was like, yeah, it's totally what I was doing."
um, but yeah, very excited for these coming chapters of Jujutsu.
Yeah, the next few where we kind of figure out what's going on with Sumiki are going to be fucking terrifying. Not ready for
Hmm.
this. I don't want Megumi to fight his sister, man. Come on. Everyone's so
Yeah,
sad all the time.
what's the worst part about it is I feel like we theorized that he's gonna have to fight her back when the calling games first started, when we first saw Kenjaku mess with her. We're like, oh no, pain. And I think it might be time to cash that check. It's only been like two
Yeah.
years.
I don't know, man. I'm stressed. I'm nervous.
Hmm. Understandable. But yeah, do you have anything else to say?
No, I don't think so.
All right, in that case, I think we might be done for the week.
All right, everybody. Well, that is another Shonen and Chill in the bag. Uh, we didn't have a whole lot of news this time. Maybe we'll have some more next time. Or
Yeah, I
maybe it'll
mean,
just be a quiet early 2023 in the world of anime and manga and whatnot.
yeah, maybe they'll just be chilling while giving us actually good chapters.
Yeah, please continue doing that. For the love of
Yes.
God. And with that, we will see you all next time.
Yeah. Bye bye.